The people cannot be sovereign. It is the parliament that is sovereign. To give the people justiciable right is to derogate from the sovereignty of parliament. Those words were used by one of the heavyweight intellectuals, as the PMP liked to refer to themselves back in those days, who was a part of those shaping the constitution that Jamaica would use during its independence. And as far as Mr. Core was concerned, it is the representatives of the people. It is the parliament that should be sovereign, not the common folks. Why is it necessary for me to use that quote? What context am I trying to create here or set? I am setting the context to an issue that has been politicized and used as if it wants to blame the government for the current state of Jamaicans who do not have a right to access our beaches. In 1956, the Beach Control Act was passed by the Normal Manley government. And in that legislation, the public was not given any inherent right to access the beaches. Private landowners were given the right to use the beaches that adjoin their property. They were allowed to use it for domestic purposes. They were allowed to use it for fishing, for bathing, for their families, and for their guests. But no provision was made for the right of the public to the beaches. In 1973, under the government of Michael Manley, a government of which Mr. Core, David Core, QC, was a part, made an amendment to the Constitution, to the Beach Control Act. And in that amendment, they did not put in place anything that would address the inherent right of the public to Jamaican beaches. So over the years, Jamaicans have been very vocal about access to the beaches. We have seen lots of private owners setting up their places and basically shutting out the Jamaican people from using the beaches. And if you were a Martian visiting from Mars, you would believe that it is the government that is this, it is the present government that has created the situation. The voice of the opposition has become so loud because it sees an opportunity to gain political mileage from the voices of the people, the cry of the people that want justiciable right. You would never believe that that party was the party that gave us our Beach Control Act and amended it in 1973. You would never believe that they are the ones who did that. And today they have the loudest voice, as if, as if at the heart of their effort is the interests of the common Jamaicans. That's BS. It's politics because the condition that we have today did not have to be, because that party had the opportunity in 1956 under Norman Manley and 1973 under Michael Manley to do what they are now asking this government to do. And it's a darn shame that for an island that has been independent since 1962, we have been operating, believing that as citizens we have right to the beaches. We did not. And this government today has presented to the country a beach control act that open up access that we did not have before. Now, could it have gone further? Are there people who think that we could have had more? Yes, there are. And those people have the right to lobby and advocate for that. But the opposition has no moral grounds, none whatsoever, to be so vociferous and pretending as if they are standing up for the rights of Jamaica. Because when they had the ability and the opportunity, they did the opposite. But I'm not going to criticize any organization or any citizen from lobbying the government and advocating that more being done. Yes, the government has committed to having beach parks building created across the country and has committed to making sure that at least one beach is accessible to the public in each parish. It's a good start. There are other things in the provision that you are free to go and look at. But I just wanted to highlight those two because those two is an improvement on what we had before. And I believe in a process of democracy that a people should lobby and advocate, and a government should respond. And sometimes when we advocate and when we protest and the government respond, sometimes the response is not enough. We continue to lobby and advocate. And a government that listens will always allow its people to express themselves and respond accordingly. And when a government listens, the people are hopeful that they can present themselves, they can present their cases and have it done. So I commend the government today for the direction it is going and for the steps it has made along that track. It's a process. That's why we live in a democracy. And it is our right to ask, to pressure in any way that we can, legitimately, to get the things done. But I just felt I needed to speak on the issue and to say that even today, as I speak, there are people in Jamaica who do not believe that the people should be sovereign, that the people should have the ability to take the government to court to enforce and protect their rights. It is not by accident that in 1956 the public was not on the radar in terms of the provision that was made. And it is not by accident in 1973 that the people and the public was ignored their right to access beaches. It's not by accident. And don't take it lightly. Don't take it lightly. The David core mentality still lives in Jamaica. And don't be fooled sometimes when these politicians come out speaking about your own interests when they had the ability to fix what they are calling for. Don't be fooled. Don't be ignorant. Because ignorance is a currency for politicians. Ignorance is a currency for politicians. Read, listen, ask questions. Always be curious with an open mind. Thank you.